Hey,
Hey, good morning.
good morning, everyone.
Lisa, you must be in transit because I recognize that transit background.
It's raining so hard here in Northern California that all the electricity and internet is out in my whole neighborhood. So I'm outside my local Starbucks getting ready to do a lot of work. Ron, I'm so excited about your update. Thank you.
Likewise. No, thank you for having me. This was really a totally unexpected surprise that you guys decided to have this.
Oh, it'll be fun.
And given that, I wanted to share some info with you regarding Ulta's performance, because me and the team here, we listened in on their earnings call. So I'll be presenting kind of highlights based on that. So we can just hear about how Ulta is performing, and then we'll go into how BeautyStat is performing at Ulta Beauty as well.
Oh, that's fantastic. Dorian, I see you coming through. Dorian's like, Kendra.
Good morning. I just woke up, so you don't want to see me.
Hey, Dorian.
We always want to see you.
I'm excited for all the gems, so I'll just sit back and listen.
Oh, it'll be fun. Ron I don't know if you were on yet. Ron was on the Ulta earnings call as well. So he's going to drop some gems there and then get into it.
Ooh, I was not on the call, so I can't wait. Let me get my notebook.
You take a screenshot. I'm going to share some of the highlights from the earnings call so you guys can grab the screenshot, or we can send you the deck afterwards.
We're getting all the tea. Angel, it's good to see your face.
Hey, Angel, how are you?
Well, we're going to.
Good morning.
Go ahead,
Hi, Ron.
Hey, Angel.
We want to be mindful of time. I know we have a few people coming in and out. We'll have a few people coming in and out. So maybe Jenny, we'll give it another minute and then we can jump in so we can maximize the time.
That sounds great.
Jenny and I are getting text messages, so we're like, okay. Ron, where are you right now?
I'm in the home office in New York City.
Oh, you're at home. You guys, Ron is always on a store visit, a tour, a speaking engagement.
Yeah, I just came from a market meeting with one of our other retail partners. So I'm rushing between meetings here, but didn't want to miss this opportunity to talk to you guys and share more about what it's like working with Ulta Beauty.
Well, why don't we go ahead and jump in, Jenny, and I'll keep texting and you can keep texting. And Ron, the great thing about our beautiful community, which you're part of, and our app is that everything is on demand. So we can get started. Jenny will let everyone know who's not here that they can still visit on demand. But we're so excited that all of you guys joined to kick things off. And I'm so happy Lisa's here, even in the midst of a thunderstorm. Ron was what was our first investment when we launched the Brain Trust Fund. And I have to say, Ron really trusted us. Ron and I have been together in a beauty community for a few years now. And so as Lisa and I were gearing up for the funds, we just knew that Ron was someone that we wanted to support and believed in, and have watched him really grow the company over the past few years. So not only was he part of our inaugural Brain Trust Founders Studio Founders, but he was our first investment. So it's such a fun full circle moment to see everything that Ron kind of put down he was going to do, in particular with Ulta, is coming to fruition. And so we are so excited to be here as a community to support him and also to learn. And I have to say, I was teasing Ron because I washed my face and I was like getting ready to put on makeup. And then I was like, wait a second, I'm going to be on video with Ron Robinson and I have my vitamin C, which I use. And so I was like, and I also have, this is their new Universal Moisture Essence, which Ron's going to reveal his newest product. But I was like, I'm in a beauty community. Why am I rushing to do all of this when I could just vitamin C myself up on the call? So I'm going to be doing my ritual using Ron's products. But that's the beauty of us being in a beauty community. So with that, Ron Robinson, I will turn it over to you to share insights, learning, and then you guys, we're going to do some fun power shopping with Ron at the end with his new line at Ulta. So go ahead, Ron.
Amazing. Thank you, Kendra. Thank you, Lisa and Jenny. Really appreciate you guys believing in us and investing in us. That investment has helped us to build the business and helped us to actually get into Ulta Beauty. And now we're celebrating 1 year at Ulta Beauty. So, and we are now sold nationwide, all 1,300 doors. So really excited about that. Ulta, obviously a major retailer in the United States. I want to give you a little bit more information about how they're doing based on their last week's earnings call. So basically, they're a public company, and they were talking to Wall Street about what their performance looked like Q4 of last year, and then totaling up full year of last 2022. So if we can go to the next slide, I'll just summarize some of the highlights from that. Okay, so Q4 results, up 18.2%, comp sales up 15.6%, and transactions 13%. Now that's Q4 compared to Q3. Full year gross profit was flat. This was due to fixed costs, some channel shifting, but strong growth in other revenue and increased shrinkage. So basically flat profit, but looking at the full year results, up 18.3% compared to the previous year, and comp sales again 15.6%. And another milestone moment for Ulta Beauty is that they hit $10 billion in sales. Loyalty members, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Loyalty members are up 40 million loyalty members. Now, if you guys shop at Ulta Beauty, if you have, you carry the card, you get points and you get freebies and discounts. So really important that they're really looking at that metric, and that's grown. The spending per each loyalty member is also up, and they're looking to elevate that loyalty program this year. One key thing that I think it's interesting for us to note is that they're really going after the Gen Z and Hispanic market. So very interesting in finding they're clearly going public about that strategy. So it'll be interesting to watch what that looks like from new brands they bring in and how they market and promote Ulta Beauty. Upper right-hand corner, BOPIS, that's the acronym, buy online, pick up in store. So this is, this type of service came out of the pandemic, and a lot of consumers, like the ability of, hey, I want to buy my product and get it right away, so they can shop online and go in store and pick it up same day. So we're looking to improve that. In terms of store information, they opened up 47 new doors. We're actually planning 47 new doors this year, 32 relocations, and improving their salon offerings. As you guys know, Ulta Beauty is also moved into select Target stores. They're currently 254 locations and looking to grow that to 800. And they're also adding a field team, an Ulta Beauty field team in those Target stores. So definitely be interesting to see what that looks like. And their data is showing that consumers that are buying products at Ulta Beauty at Target are then going back to Ulta Beauty and buying full size or buying other products there. So it seems like the partnership is paying off. Another interesting point they mentioned regarding DE&I, they plan on investing $50 million into that this year. And forecasting full year of 2023, they're forecasting not as much growth as the previous year, just about 3 to 5%. So they're being very bearish with that forecast. And again, single-digit growth is the plan for first half as well as the second half. Next slide. Brothers, I want to stop for questions. Questions, comments, anything surprising you guys see? Jenny, if you can just go back to the last slide to see if anyone has any questions or comments. Anything surprising, interesting, noteworthy here?
I have a comment that I think will be interesting for our community. When you mentioned the Gen Z and Hispanic, I know Lisa and I have been having some conversations with Ulta as well. It's going to be interesting to see how that impacts their focus that's been on Black-owned brands and how they've been looking at shelf space. And so it was interesting for that call out without also talking about how working with Black-owned brands has impacted their numbers, which we know that it has. So I don't know if you've had any thoughts on that, or if there's anything that we as a community need to be thinking about, if that's their focus.
Yeah, I think everyone is looking at Gen Z specifically. I think the Hispanic market is definitely an opportunity, and when you were looking at the changing demographic here in the United States, I think it makes sense. So I think what's interesting for me is that they've made it public that this is a strategy.
Thank you.
And it looks like Ryan dropped a question in the chat. Ryan, do you want to come off mute and ask the question?
Yeah, sure. Hey there, everyone. Ron,
Hey, Ryan.
thank
Hey,
you
Ryan.
for speaking. Just a quick question. Did Ulta speak about the ways in which they plan to invest via DEI, or were there any upcoming programs or initiatives that they were looking to launch with upcoming BIPOC brands?
They did not. We definitely I was looking to hear if they were going to be specific. They did not. They were not specific about that. So I guess we just have to follow up and see what that looks like.
Thank you. At least they made the commitment.
Yes, yep.
And
Was there another
Sandra, do you
question?
want to ask your question?
Yes. Hi, guys. Sorry, I'm a little hoarse today. So
No problem.
just wondering, seeing that Ulta partnered with Target recently, have they talked about how that's going specifically with the performance of the brands that are doing that partnership?
Yeah, great question. We were anxious to hear about that as well. The only indication that it's going well is their decision to put field team in those locations as well. So, and then the fact that they plan to expand into up to 800 locations. So it sounds,
Okay.
the feeling we get is that it's good. And I think, you know, for us, we're a brand that's carried there. We're looking at what does that opportunity look like for us to be brought into select Target doors as well.
I have a question.
Yes.
When thinking about the field teams, I'm really curious about how they're going to be approaching that. I know that some of the challenges I've had in the past getting into retail, we provide service providers. That's all we do.
Right.
There was a lot of challenges around being able to get the right type of professional to come in that was not necessarily, they had challenges having too many Black professionals versus having other nationalities. So what I mean by that is that we were getting asked to provide ambiguous professionals
Interesting.
instead of providing people that were like Black presenting in a sense. So
Right.
some of my questions around this like field professionals that are going to be involved in some of these like retail stores, are they looking at people who are speaking different languages? Are there like different physical capabilities as well? Some of those things are just things that I really want to dive into a little bit more, because I feel like when we think about the beauty industry and we think about the presentation in terms of retail,
Yep.
pros don't get included because they are not considered to be the consumer, even though they look like the consumer. So was there any insight there? Just
No.
I'm just like really curious.
No, it's a great question. No insight there. And just to be clear, this is Ulta Beauty's partnership with another big retailer, Target stores. So this is basically, if you walk into a local Target store, there might be a section within the store that's dedicated to Ulta Beauty brands. And what they're planning to do there is to staff that with Ulta Beauty field team to help sell and educate about the products in those Target stores. That
Okay,
makes-
awesome.
that-
Yeah.
that makes- So, and I would imagine they'd be looking at, you know, what's the community like in that specific town, city, and how do we make sure that, you know, the team people are representative of that location.
Are they allowing the brands to choose their own beauty teams if they have them on the ground?
I think these will be Ulta Beauty employees.
Okay.
And so I think the question is, if you're a brand that's now in one of those Ulta Beauty at Target stores, would we be required to put our own sales field team in those stores as well? Perhaps. So we got,
That was my question, and you
Yeah.
answered it perfectly. Thank you so much.
thank you. Any other questions? Okay, we'll go to the next.
Really quick. Hey, Ron.
Oh, yes, hey.
Really quick, so I just wanted to know, thanks for coming on. I wanted to know how effective have you found your like in-store? I know you do a lot of like in-store pop-ups. How effective have you found that? And then also just in terms of you being like a forward-facing founder, do you feel like that kind of gives you a leg up on the competition?
Yeah, Amber, thank you. It's a great question. I think when we launched at Ulta Beauty, we launched in 260 doors. A little bit easier for me to get around and hit some of the key markets, whether it's the New York City area, Florida, LA. Now that we're at all doors, 1,300 doors, I cannot be impossible. So on the next slide, I'll tell you more about what we're doing with our own developed field team that I work with on training them on BeautyStat products to help them help sell our products in those doors. So I think the fact that I'm a cosmetic chemist founder, I think that's resonated with some of the sales folks that we've brought on, as well as the consumer that's discovering us and understanding, oh, this brand is founded by an expert that I've never heard of. You know, it's not a dermatologist, but it's a cosmetic chemist, someone that's very close to the formula who actually formulates it. And we're trying to drive that message home as much as we can in all touch points, whether it's on shelf. I'll show you photos of me on what we look like on shelf, where I'm in my lab coat working, showing the product and talking about the results that you'll get from using it. So we're trying to leverage that and build that type of education on every touch point.
Perfect, thank you. And just to really quickly piggyback off of that, so as far as your team is concerned, do they have to, I guess, consult with the location as far as like how often they show up, what their actual position would be? Because I'm sure you'll have them kind of do just like random pop-ups, right? To make sure that your, products are nice and neat on the shelf, things like that? Or would it be more of like product education?
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
no problem. So let me go right into that. So on the right side of this slide, you'll see that we have 5 field team members in 5 major markets. So here you have them: Leanne, Vanessa, Jarrett, Cecilia, and Eric. So all 5 of them are covering 5 doors in their market. And they're working 5 days a week, 1 day in each of those 5 locations. So we're really getting them to spend a lot of time in the doors that they're in, and we're showing it. We're building a case study of, hey, when we have the right sales field focus on key doors, and here are the numbers here that we're showing. So those 5 people are now representing 23% of our store sales. That's just 5 people in 5 doors. That's a total of 25 doors. And their average focus dollars to bring in is $195 in sales per week average, versus the doors that we have no one in are only doing about $20. So this is proof or that the right sales team can really work and deliver results.
I love this. I love the way that you're kind of taking action and not just leaving your products on the shelf and really having a formula. I think that we can all benefit from this, even if it's Target or,
This formula can work for any retailer. So again, you have companies that go and they'll invest in hundreds of salespeople. We want to start slow and show that, hey, if we find the right people focused, what can they deliver in terms of sales? So this team is delivering. And just flipping back to the other side, the left side of the screen, just talking about our performance. So we're 1 full year in Ulta Beauty. We launched in February of 2022. Now we're in March 23. So year to date, we're up 17% versus last year. Year to date, we're up 135%. Ulta has this thing called a budget. Basically, any retailer that you're working with, or most retailers that you're working with, will tell you, okay, here's the number we need you to hit. And we're given this weekly. So basically, and this number is called the budget. Some retailers call it the forecast. Ulta Beauty calls it the budget. And they'll say, how are you doing compared to your budget? Okay, so we're up 43%. So again, great place to be. Really want to make sure that we're delivering results, and we track this weekly because we only get data from Ulta on a weekly basis. And then internally, we have our own budget, our own forecast. And of course, we want to exceed what Ulta is giving us. We want to show them that, hey, we're going to over deliver. And so we're up 80% there. So any questions on our performance at Ulta Beauty so far? Question, what was your profound learning? Yeah, great question. I think one thing we learned before we brought on our own sales team, we used an outsourced sales company. These are firms that they don't work only for you, they may work for other brands as well. So they're kind of hired sales teams that one day they're working on your brand, and then the next day they're working potentially on a competitive brand, or they might be at another retailer working on another brand. We didn't see great results there. We felt that, I think the loyalty was not where it should have been, not where it could have been. And I think they were not necessarily as inspired because they were really scattered working on so many different brands that they weren't really motivated. We got rid of that company, and now we decided to cultivate our own sales team. So these are the 5 people we have so far, and we're looking for 3 more in major markets. LA is a gap. It's a big market, so we need to find someone there, as well as the Houston area, Houston, Texas.
Ron,
Yes.
raising my hand.
Yeah.
What are you looking for when it comes to those like individuals to join your sales team? And also, how are people being sourced to you? Like for me, I have a ton of beauty professionals that are looking for opportunities like this. However, they don't know where to go aside from going to agencies like Beauty Brigade, where they're working for multiple brands versus building that loyalty for one brand.
Right. Yeah. Beauty Brigade is one of those companies that we were working with. Not that exact one, but again, as you said, those are companies that create these sales forces that work for multiple brands. We've been looking at LinkedIn and other job boards. I think Facebook has a couple of job boards that are specifically targeting folks that love to be in store, love to be in retail, and are looking for one brand to work with and develop and grow with. So we've been leveraging those groups as well as LinkedIn and finding talent there. If you have any leads.
I mean, I am a lead.
Yeah, I was like, you and Ron, Rika, you and Ron need to connect. Rika could be your entire engine.
We're in 30 different cities, and we have about 20,000 beauty professionals in hair and makeup. And we're expanding into wigs and nails and etc. But my thing is that there are beauty pros that are looking for that dedicated brand, right? They want to have that brand and build that relationship. The hard part is that they don't want to work for the Beauty Brigades of the world, and they want to sustain their independence to do what they love as well on the side. And I'm just trying to figure out how to build that balance, right? Make the key intros and make the key contracts. So I'd love to like follow up with you, but Houston, LA, I got you. Chicago, I got you.
Great.
You just need to tell me what you're looking for.
Great. Yeah. The key things, obviously, we need someone that has a personality that loves being around people. They love being on the floor. You know, they can't be shy. When a customer walks in, they've got to go up and be able to create start a conversation, be engaging, be a great listener, and be able to help that customer, even if she's not shopping for skincare, build a relationship. He or she may come back in 2 weeks or 3 weeks later. Hey, I saw you. Hey, good to see you again. And develop that. Oh, by the way, have you tried our new vitamin C serum or our new moisturizer type of thing? So it's that type of personality.
I got those personalities for you. I think that some of the things that they're also looking for by working with smaller brands is the opportunity to build their brand with like creating digital content or writing blogs and things of that sort. And I think that that's a lot that a lot of brands aren't putting into the marketing mix in order for them to feel like they're part of the teams. And the more and more I dive in, the more and more I'm realizing that pros are looking for that like relationship to belong. not
Yes.
necessarily that relationship where they can just make money. Money is no longer the incentive. It's
Yep.
about that relationship and moving forward, but we can follow up offline. I just
Yep.
wanted to be like, Ron, I'm here for you if you need me.
No, I appreciate that.
I'm in the corner, like right over there.
I
But-
totally, and I think, and what we do is we like to recognize our team as well. They post on social, we share it. If they're content creators, we put them on our Instagram and Facebook pages. So they get to grow their followers, grow their engagement, and it gets customers to come into the store to ask for them and look for them. So all of that's a win-win. And of course, all of the commission and bonus opportunities are all there to make it a big opportunity for them to make a great living by working for us.
Yep.
Jenny, I was going to say, thank you, Rika and Ron. Jenny, I was going to say there's a few questions coming into the chat. Ron, I know that you have a few more slides to get through. Why don't we take a few questions, maybe in the next 3 minutes, and then at 9:30, get through a few more of your slides?
Sounds good.
And I'm going to be selfish, but I don't mean to be, but you guys know me. One thing, Ron, because we've been thank you guys so much for participating in the survey, so that we can celebrate you all. Some of the questions that we've been getting, and you brought it up, was about using third-party sellers. So there's many founders on this call who we personally talked to who may not be at a place where they can hire a sales team in the way that you have, but retail is very important to them. And so we've been working on different partnerships with these third-party sellers. And I know, Lisa, you brought it up as well. Maybe we can do a separate session just specifically on that, Ron, because I think you do have to be at a place to be able to bring it in-house. And so figuring out what's the timing to trial that service. Maybe you can even look at some of the third parties who we've been looking at, that we've been introduced to by the founders, so that we can help create kind of that pathway for using a third party until you're ready to transition, or what to look for if you're going to be able to just go straight and hire that sales team.
Totally, would love to. Could spend all day talking about that.
I was like, we'll do a part 2. Okay, Jenny, let's get to the founders' questions.
Yes.
Absolutely. So Dorian had a question about what markets you focus on.
Yes. So we are Mid-Atlantic. That's the DC, Baltimore area. That's where Leanne is. Vanessa is in Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Jarrett is Dallas. By the way, Texas is a big state, big market there. You need a lot of people in that market. Yeah, I told you I'm looking for someone in Houston. Houston is vast. If anyone from Houston, you know, it's big, a lot of doors there. And Eric just started in Chicago.
Fantastic. And then Lucian came in and he said, Ron, how do you combine online marketplace sales with in-store sales?
Oh, you're talking about whether a consumer shopping Ulta Beauty brick and mortar in store versus online?
I believe so, but Lucian, do you have any other clarity you want to offer around that?
Yes. I'm just curious how you combine online sales. So how do you leverage online versus, let's see, you have here in your channel mix, you have .com and you have stores.
Yes,
So,
okay.
So I'm guessing .com, you're including marketplace and your online store, right? And
Yes.
How do you play with that?
Yeah, listen, great question. So just going back to that chart here, where first look at 2022A, we were delivering 50% of our Ulta Beauty business on Ulta.com, and that only 43% in store. We were only in 260 doors back then. So consumers, if they found out about us, we likely were not in a store near them. They had to go and buy it online. So we were over-indexing with online sales. Compared it to 2023, you could see the shift. We're now doing more business in store, 65%, because we're in all 1,300 doors, and the .com has lessened to 35%. So Ulta looks at all total sales. I will tell you though, .com is really important for them, and that has grown for them. they are a retail, I like to call or use the word, they're a real estate business. They're into locations and making sure that their locations are driving revenue. So if they're opening up a new door, they're opening up new doors because they want sales coming from that physical door, not necessarily online. Online, great for replenishment. It's great for BOPIS, buy online and pick up in store, but they're investing in real estate because they want to sell product in store. And that's what it seems to be working for them, given the earnings results.
Ron, before we move on to the next slide, we have one more question. This one is from Angel. Angel, do you want to ask your question directly?
Sure. So Ron, this is amazing information. So what I was curious about, going back to your sales team, how does your team work in conjunction with the Ulta store staff? And what is that experience like for the customer? Like, does she know she's talking to a beauty staff person or Ulta? Like, what's that experience like when you walk through the door?
Yeah, Angel, great question. And if you guys ever walk into an Ulta Beauty, you'll see someone will come up to you and they will likely talk to you about a specific brand. And usually those are the folks that are focused on that brand. And Ulta welcomes that. They want people in the store selling, whether it's their own employees or the brand, because that means if people are there, they could help a customer get a product. They could help someone sell a product. Ulta is looking for sales. They want any customer that walks in to fill their basket. I don't know if you ever noticed that. It's really smart. Some Ulta Beauty stores will, as you walk in, they hand you a cart. They'll hand you a basket. It's a little bit, you know, hey, I'm only looking for one thing, but if I have a basket, now I can fill it with more things, right? It's the psychology of how do you get people to shop and buy product? And some people have to resist and say, oh no, I'm okay. I only want one thing. But so Ulta welcomes salespeople, whether it's their own team or the brand. And I think as you know, as you're looking to go into retail, having and thinking about who is your support going to be, whether that's an outside sales team or building out your own internal sales team, they want to drive store sales. So it's an important thing to think about as you're looking at branching into retail. So okay, so this is what BeautyStat looks like in store. So this is our display. We have 1.5 feet. We have my mug shot in a lab coat. And, you know, I'm talking about some of the great clinical results that we have on our vitamin C serum. And we have now 1, 2, 3, we have 5 products on display in store. And then we've also had some secondary locations. So Ulta has a program every January called Skin Fatuation, which is a focus on skin. You know, it's going into the new year. Everyone's looking, you know, to take care of their skin, and so this was our secondary location way in front of the store as you walk in. So we saw great results of having secondary location, especially at the front of the store. Next slide. Oh, just want to quickly talk about a new product we just launched. So we're known for our vitamin C serum, the first 20% pure patented stable vitamin C serum. Fantastic independent clinical results. When we launched the brand 4 years ago, as soon as we launched, a lot of consumers were loving our product, but then they were saying, hey, but what about sunscreen? When are you guys going to launch a sunscreen? So 4 years later, a lot of testing, a lot of formulation, we were able to get and launch this product that now contains 20% pure vitamin C serum and mineral sunscreen SPF 50. So this is the product here. You guys can see that. So this just launched 2 weeks ago. Super excited about it. What I just want to show you very quickly about the texture is that it's one SKU, one shade. It's a gel cream formula, SPF 50 mineral sunscreen, blends in seamlessly on all skin tones, no chalkiness, no whiteness, blends in seamlessly. You apply your moisturizer over it. All skin tones, fairest to the deepest, blends in seamlessly. It's took so much so many years, so many iterations to get this right, and we're thrilled. We just launched 2 weeks ago, and this is now nationwide at all doors at Ulta Beauty. Next slide. This is what's unique about it. What we've researched and discovered is that sunscreen alone does not protect you, only protects you from 55% of free radicals, which are things that damage and harm your skin. But when you combine 20% pure vitamin C with mineral sunscreen, SPF 50, you're getting total protection and total correction as well. So here's some of the clinical results. They're fantastic. 4 weeks, really transforming the skin and protecting the skin. Next slide. So key ingredients, as I said, 20% pure vitamin C. We have 17.5% zinc oxide, as well as squalane. EGCG is the active component of green tea, and iron oxides as well. So we're getting full protection against not just UV, but also from blue light with the use of iron oxides. Next slide. So what we're doing is educating the consumer about why vitamin C plus mineral sunscreen is better together. You're getting total protection, total correction, and big activations with influencers, content creators to show that, demonstrate that. I'm doing a lot of content in the lab and showing how I developed the product and why it's a must-have in your skincare routine. Next slide. Okay, so Ulta has two big events a year, and these are events where brands can go on sale 50% off. So it's called 21 Days of Beauty. It starts March 12th and ends April 2nd. And we were elected to have our moisturizer on sale today, 50% off, online only, .com only. So our moisturizer, this is our Universal Pro Bio Moisture Boost Cream. And this is a gel cream formula packed with hyaluronic acid, ceramides, clinically tested to deliver 24 hydration. It's a lightweight gel cream, and it firms the skin, hydrates, it lasts all day long. It's lightweight, not greasy. And you can see what's a great sale. We typically are $50 or $75 or $70. And now we're on sale today, 24 hours just today for 50% off. So you can get this for $25 or $35. And so we're just thrilled to be able to offer this to you guys. Note, in terms of the forecast or what we're budgeted to do, Ulta says they'd like us to do 95K in sales today. We have a stretch goal of doing 133K. Hopefully you guys can help us get that stretch goal. I think we're going to drop a link to shop if you guys would help us out. We definitely love the help and support. And you can also buy online and pick up in store if you want to buy it, if you want to get it today. All you have to do is go to ulta.com and it'll give you options if you want to buy online and pick up in store. Any questions?
And the link is in the chat, just so everybody knows.
Great. And just in the next slide, I want to show you what else we're doing to support this. You know, whenever your retail partner is doing a special promotion, they're going to look to you to see what you're doing to help lean in and support it. And this is what we're doing. So we're doing email blasts to our own email subscribers. So those that typically shop from us directly, we're pushing them to Ulta Beauty, and we're letting Ulta know that we are leaning into them even through our own customers. We've gotten some digital and PR placements. Have you guys heard of Criteo? Criteo is it allows you to advertise your product on certain websites. So if you ever go to Amazon, or if you ever go to Ulta, or I think Sephora, you'll see, if you search in their search bar for a product, you'll see products that are kind of sponsored. That's Criteo. They're basically our third party that allows you to advertise on retail sites. So we are investing in that. And we also are investing in UB Collective, which is Ulta Beauty's influencer group. So we've seeded the product with them. We do have some paid influencers, and I'll show you that on the next slide. Of course, organic social, paid social as well. And on the next slide, I could show you some of the content creators that have been posting about this. And if you go to Beauty Stats Instagram, you'll see all these great content creators posting and showing, you know, how much they love the moisturizer and driving people to Ulta.com to shop. And next slide. And again, we're obviously doing this on TikTok as well. And SMS, text message marketing there as well.
Ron, question for you as you go through this, because you've been so transparent and you mentioned that Ulta's expecting you to do 95K in one day. And then you've, on the other side, created all of these marketing and social opportunities. Have you found, especially with some of our founders who are just going into Ulta or exploring Ulta and the budgets that they need to be successful there, what are the implications of, you know, hitting that goal, expanding the goal in terms of how Ulta views the brand and how you continue to work and expand with them? And then the second part of that is you've had to do a lot on your side to make sure that this is also successful and that you're exceeding numbers. How does that kind of work? And do you create kind of a separate budget and marketing plan specifically to hit those numbers? And how does that play into your larger kind of marketing budget?
Definitely. I think we recognize Ulta Beauty as being our big partner, and we only talk about success at Ulta Beauty. Yes, .com, our own .com is great for the margin short term, but long term, we need to show and deliver results at Ulta Beauty. We only have one shot to make this work. So the investment goes here first and foremost, so much so that we're even pushing our own customers over to Ulta to shop. So we're really serious, you know, it's serious business about trying to drive this. So my recommendation to the founders here on this call is you've got to look at what you are going to do. And I think the easiest route is using your own social media and your own email list to push traffic. That's the less investment, or the lowest investment opportunity is doing things there. And then when you do have a little bit of budget, what could you do? Can you do some paid social? Can you pay some, you know, influencers, content creators that have a great reach, that really are engaged with the brand and your product? So that would be what I would recommend.
Ron, I have a question.
Yes.
When it comes to working as a CPG, right? Is there an appreciation or a need for licensed professionals? And if so, what are you looking for from those licensed professionals that you don't get from influencers? Because I think that that's something that I think doesn't get brought up often enough.
Yep.
And it creates that rift, because a lot of pros that I talk to don't even want to hear about becoming an influencer because they don't feel like an influencer is equal to having the license.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any feedback there, or like understanding that I could take in, and even the brands that are going into stores to understand? Because I think it's something really important to be able to build the conversation around, as I continue to look at, you know, what type of brands can we partner with that would put an appreciation on licensed professionals versus influencers, or if the beauty professional needs to get a certain like follower count in order to be considered on that level. I just want to be able to understand what that looks like.
Totally, you know, Rika, great question. And I think we look for all types of content creators, especially it's got to be relevant to the product. So we have a vitamin C serum that we're known for, and now this new one with SPF 50. This is something that we want the dermatologist and esthetician to also get behind, because of the credibility that they have with the fact that we're now addressing UV sun damage and protection. So that type of product, yes, we'd weigh more heavily on the dermatologist and the licensed professional versus our moisturizer, which it's, you know, this is a fantastic moisturizer. Yes, it's clinically tested as well to deliver hydration, but something that someone with a great following who's known for having dry skin and has found a solution, we want him or her to talk about this product as well. So it depends on the product, and we definitely want a mix of both.
Really quick, Ron, this is great and congratulations on everything. I think that I would want to know, like, what do you feel like were the top two like marketing strategies that you use to grow? And do you feel like those are the same marketing strategies that you're using right now at scale?
Yes, great question. I recommend the content creators and influencers. And you can go micro. You don't have to be macro. The folks that we shared on the previous slide, they vary in terms of reach. And some of them were willing to actually post for free. So if you could build that relationship with them, and we're working on cultivating those relationships every day, they will post. If you have a great product, and if you elevate them, you repost and ask for permission to use their content and repost their content, and it will help bring an audience for them and new followers for them. That's what I recommend you spending your money on, which is the time developing those relationships and getting those folks to post.
Thank you. And would you say at scale, it's mostly, as you said, like Ulta has a program where you're able to partner with their influencers? Would you say it kind of switched at scale, or?
Yes, and that's something that not everyone is privy to. So you do have to show a good track record that you are hitting your forecast, and then they start opening up opportunities for you to then be exposed more to their internal group of content creators and influencers.
Perfect. Thank you.
We could stop sharing if you guys want to just have take any follow-up questions.
There were a few questions that were pre-submitted. Jenny, I want to make sure we got to, thank you to everyone who pre-submitted questions. We jumped right in. I want to make sure that we get all of those answered. So if we didn't get your pre-submitted, feel free to jump in, or Jenny, if you want to facilitate.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me get a quick look here. I hope y'all are shopping.
Ron, thank you for this. Like, truly, we will have a part 2 on thinking about the seller piece. And then you guys are also vocal. So if there's any other tidbits that came out that we need to also include as an additional fireside, we can set that up as well. We love to do the founder to founder conversations as much as we love to bring in the third parties, because it's helpful to walk the walk and talk the talk with founders who are doing it successfully at the same time. So Ron, thank you so much. Jenny, I'll let you keep going with questions.
Yeah, absolutely. So Mona from Curly Beauty, and I don't know if Mona's on the call right now, but she submitted a couple of different questions. So she asked, from the perspective of a cosmetic and founder in the beauty space, what are the most important factors to consider when targeting luxury retailers and consumers from a product perspective?
Yeah, it's a great question. Differentiation. We all know how crowded this market is. There are a lot of brands every day. There's a new brand launching, and I think all the retailers are struggling with differentiation. How do I make sure that any new brand I bring in really has a unique point of view, a unique look that is bringing or adding to the mix of products that they currently carry? I think that's so key. And that's regardless, that's whether you're in the luxury space or masstige or mass, it's at any price point. It's how does your product look and feel different? Who's the audience? What are you addressing that's going to be really unique and incremental to that retailer's business?
And then she had a follow-up question here, or maybe this one was first. She says, what were the most important factors that took your company from 0 to 100,000 and then from 100,000 and growing in revenue?
Yeah, I think in our case, I think what gave us a real good jump start was the press, the coverage of our brand that seems to be continuing, knock on wood. And I think that goes to show that if we deliver innovation now with this, mineral sunscreen plus vitamin C, that's our latest innovation. And we're showing that we have something really unique. That's what really got our start. It helped us really make those big jumps in awareness as well as in sales.
So I have two more that were submitted in advance. So one is from Nina from Beauty News Buzz. And she asked, what do you think is missing in beauty media? What can the media industry do better in the area of beauty?
I think I'd like to see, better reporting. I think there's I think media outlets are still a little clickbaity, meaning that it's how do I get people to click and look? And I think a lot of really good and interesting stories could be overlooked because they tend to focus on how do I break through? How do I get my story to be read versus someone else's? And I think there could be more of an even better reporting and uncovering more unique stories that don't require either a celebrity or a scandal or someone got, it doesn't have to be a TikTok, a trend in order to be covered. And I think that's what I think a lot of media is covering right now. And I think we could do a better job of just reporting good stories that are just interesting and should be told.
Fantastic. And then the last question, which I imagine other founders on the call may have as well, is from Danielle McLean. And she has a company called Diamond Beauty Cosmetics. She's been in business for 4 years. And she says, what's the process to get in retailers like Ulta? She goes, I just don't know where to start.
Yeah. Hear that all the time. Retailers want to know that you have your own following and you have your own customer base. They want to know, do you have social media, your Instagram, your TikTok, that there's engagement, that people are interested, they're talking about you, that you know who your customer is, that you're getting repeat purchase. Yes, if you can get press, that you're in the press as well. All of that is what they're looking for. Of course, they want a unique story, a unique brand proposition as well. So all of that matters. And after you develop that, then that's when you're on the way to then approaching retailers and telling and sharing with them, hey, this is what I have over here. I have these customers, they're coming back, they love this product, this is why. And thinking about who that retailer is and why you think your brand is going to be a great fit and add something new and different to their product mix.
Thank you so much. We have time, I think, for one or two more questions. Founders, did I miss anyone in the comments? Please feel free to just come off of mute if you have a question for Ron. There's Dorian.
Oh, sorry. Wondering if your website works for men, Ron, because I want to try. Not for my girlfriend, I want to try. I always do.
Absolutely. Especially our vitamin C and moisturizer are great for men. What's great about the moisturizer is that it's lightweight but lasts all day. And even now, as we're getting into this kind of crazy weather where it's cooler some days and sometimes it's a little humid as well, it's going to keep you hydrated without being greasy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm off of mute. I just keep. So I'm sorry. I don't even really know how to raise my hand, which sounds horrible. That means I don't do much. But really quick, this may help everyone. So my question is, okay, so there's Ulta and there's Sephora. Do you have any preference? Is there like a particular reason why you lean more towards Ulta than Sephora? Or do you have plans on kind of going with both?
It's a great question, Amber. I think when we launched, we when we got our following and we got our customer base, we kind of knew who was shopping us. We talked to every retailer, and it was, whoever we thought would be a great partner, and Ulta Beauty, came to the table first, and we developed we've been developing a great relationship with them. So nothing's off the table for the future. We're open, but I think right now our focus is growing and delivering at Ulta Beauty.
I love that. Thank you so much. Sorry,
Thank you.
guys.
I think we'll take our last question from Dorian.
Hey, Dorian.
Hey, sorry, you're seeing me in my pajamas. So your growth has been so impressive. As a small brand that's in Ulta, it's a very expensive channel. And when you're self-funded, you can't really invest in the same level that you have. I'm curious, from your vantage point, what have been the best triggers that you've pulled or levers you've pulled within Ulta that have given the best ROI? I've now done MAC, I've invested in some, outsourced training. I'm doing a promo this week as well. So like, there's all of these different levers I'm trying to pull, but what's been most successful for you?
You're doing the MAG, you're doing this. Have you done the sampling opportunities? Have they given you the ability to get into those things?
I haven't gotten any accepted, unfortunately.
Okay, all right. So
I've been trying though.
Keep trying, keep candidating for those. Those are great. You're doing your first promo with them as part of 21 Days of Beauty?
I had one promo last year, and this is a 20% off promo this week, part of the 21 Days of Beauty. The previous one was BOGO 40% off, which is the same as 20% off, but I'm not basket loading. I'm trying to get people to try. So we shifted to a 20% off.
Got it. Yeah. Email content creators, influencers. We see a great return there.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All of this makes me so proud. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is great.
No, thank you guys. I really
This is not anything small. I love how you just kind of, understand your business, understand your customer. Like, this is huge, and congratulations.
No, Amber, I think I just, thank you for that. I just wanted to just make sure that I could share this. It's tough out here. This is tough. We made mistakes, and I think, I want to thank, Kendra and Lisa and Jenny for making this, giving us a space to share. And this is about founders helping other founders and supporting each other. And, that's why I think this, Brain Trust community was formed, so we could help each other out. And happy I was able to, learn a little bit and share it. And I'm all ears. I want to learn from you guys and see what I can do to help, grow this business as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ron. And thank you guys all for being here. We are just so thankful for this community. Thankful for the transparency and this being a safe space for us to share. We will share more information from Ron's presentation. We'll set up the second meetings. We just ask that you keep his deck confidential within our community. That's why we have a safe space with our studio. And then we will set up more opportunities. I know, Dorian, there's been some ideas to do some retail focused groups. So putting together groups of people in Ulta, Sephora, and even just a retail group. So we welcome those ideas and suggestions. We will work on putting those together. And then also, I would be remiss to let you guys go. If you have not downloaded the app, make sure that you download our Brain Trust Founder Studio app. It's in the Apple Store, the Android store. It does have our directories, so all of you are listed. You can talk to each other. There's a great activity chain, so if there's questions, I know many of you are active in here. There is also the Knowledge Salon, as well as our On-Demand Learning Center. So the On-Demand Learning Center will have Ron's presentation. It also has all of the fireside chats and virtual programming that we've done, so make sure that you download the app, check this out, interact with each other, and participate. It's all here for you. We do this for you and for us as founders. So with that, thank you guys so much. We will see you on the virtual coffee chat on Friday. And please reach out, founders at the Brain Trust, if you need anything. Ron, thank you so much. Have a fantastic day today. We're going to be shopping all day, and we appreciate you.
Thank you. Just $25 for the moisturizer. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it.